So right now, all these drivers are lining up to basically take over the Las Vegas Boulevard. It's one of the biggest like off-road events here in Las Vegas. There's gonna be hundreds of cars, millions of dollars worth of off-road equipment driving down the streets of Las Vegas, which is super, super cool. So I can't believe this channel has brought me to these places. So fortunate. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you guys enjoy this episode, and I hope that you are just as excited as me about that Tundra. I have genuinely been considering selling the Ford Raptor to get the new Tundra, because I know that most of my audience, I know you guys are all Toyota boys. I grew up with Toyota and I love Toyota. This thing is super cool. All right, getting pretty excited. They are looking for a seat for us too. I thought I was gonna get to ride with Rob McCackern, but I guess that was just my boyhood dreams being shattered in front of me.
Same parking lot, support vehicles need to leave as well.
They just let me know that there's actually a strong chance I might get to ride in Rob McCackern's trophy truck. I mean, that's like a dream come true, but they said don't get your hopes up because there might be a last minute change. So I'm gonna try not to get too excited. I already thought my dreams were crushed once, they might be crushed twice, but we'll see. Rob just won the Baja 1000, and now he's here for the Mint 400. He's definitely who I'm rooting for. In 2018, I went to the BF Goodrich Baja 1000 in Mexico, and I watched Rob come across the finish line in first place, but he was penalized due to a technical foul, and he didn't win that race, and I thought he did, so I'm hoping I can be here for him to win that race today. And we were talking earlier, I didn't shove a camera in his face, but really cool to be able to hang out with these guys. These are people making history in off-road racing, and somehow, for some reason, BFG feels like I can be involved. Yeah! Appreciate you letting me ride along. Good chatting with you. That was epic. So I'm not really a huge fan of the city, although Vegas is cool. Doesn't usually impress me, but that was probably the best way to tour Las Vegas. And I appreciate
No worries, thank you. Appreciate it. Glad you had fun. It's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Definitely all the spectator stuff, the tourists that were sitting on the side of the highway or in the bridges and all that stuff. It's pretty cool.
That is really cool. Literally riding with an off-road legend. In my world, that's like the equivalent of riding through Las Vegas in the passenger seat of Tom Brady's Escalade or some shit. I don't know what he drives, but that's, you get what I'm saying. How's it? Whoa. How's feeling froggy? No. Okay, let's try that again. I just woke up and I'm getting ready to go have the UTV experience at the Mint 400. Yesterday was really cool. Yesterday I got off the plane. I went straight to what's called the Mint 400 Parade, which is where all the trophy trucks, buggies, motorcycles, everyone who's participating in the race drives down the Las Vegas Strip. And not only did I get to participate in that, I got to ride with an absolute legend, Rob Mack. If you're not familiar with off-road racing, Rob Mack is the winningest racer of all time in the off-road category. So really cool to be hanging out with him and just get some, you know, I just like picked his brain the whole time, you know, like how do you get into racing if you don't have a family background, all that kind of stuff. It was really, really fun. It was really cool. And on top of that, we got to check out the new Toyota Tundra, and that thing, in my mind, it changes everything. We're gonna go ride some UTVs today, and of course we're gonna check out the Strip, which is gonna be, I think Fremont Street or somewhere, yeah, Fremont Street is gonna have like a big outdoor sort of festival type thing where we get to go check out all the vendors. All right, we are on our way to the UTV experience. Hey, thank you very much. Right, these will probably be our steeds for the day. So we've arrived here at the UTV experience. As you can see, all these rigs are equipped with BFG tires. I run the same KM3 UTV tires on my Polaris, and I ran them on my Can-Am X3. They're an excellent tire in pretty much all different terrains, but really shine in the desert. So this is where we test drove the Polaris Pro XP before I got mine. Really fun course. Having done this in the past, I know that it's super dusty, super bouncy. This is gonna be a ton of fun. Oh my gosh, my friends, that was so much fun. I like seriously, deeply regret not bringing my camera. I should have. It wasn't like the last time I went out. I mean, we were mashing, we went real fast, but I totally could have controlled my bag. I don't know, I just remembered the last one I went on, just like really fumbling with my bag, a lot of my gear getting broken. But we actually were able to take our time. We had a lot of stops. I could have filmed. I totally could have got my drone out. I'm sorry. From me to you, I'm sorry. You had to look at cell phone and GoPro footage this whole time. But man, that was fun. Really fun. I can't believe how rough that terrain is. Like, it's brutal. I'm like, yeah, I come from Washington State where everything is like covered in bark and leaves and it's wet. It's very wet, slippery. That was rugged, rough. I feel like I need another R word. Rugged, rough, and ridiculously awesome. So now they are gonna serve us some lunch right here, and we might take it to go because we got places to be. We're gonna go into the town, check out a bunch of booths, and I got some people I wanna meet, I wanna talk to out there. So yeah, it was really good experience. I need to get my UTV going, and I wish you guys liked the UTV videos more, but you know, I don't care. I'm gonna just do it. Ooh, yeah. Oh, that looks incredible.
I'm gonna take one. Yeah. He is smart.
91, which is my first year on the BF Goodrich brand. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
He's gonna sit right down there in that nice comfy chair.
Can we just go right down to our lower sports now? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, this is something I've been really looking forward to checking out. Behind me is the Polaris Pro XP R, which is a lot more than just a Pro XP. I mean, if you've been following my channel, let me preface this by saying I have a Pro XP 4. I have a 4-seat Pro XP, it's right over there. When this first came out, I assumed it was just the 72-inch wide version of a Pro XP. But I'm learning now that I'm here at the Polaris RZR booth that there's actually quite a bit. I mean, it's redesigned from the ground up, but it shares like some looks, it shares doors and seating position, it shares some components. But when you dive into this thing and you look at how the suspension works, it is really trippy. It looks a lot like an aftermarket suspension components, but it comes factory this way. And I used to have a 72-inch wide Can-Am, and I really enjoyed it. It was 2-seater. It was my go fast vehicle. It was kind of like the fun jumping vehicle. I rolled it, I rebuilt it, and then I sold it. And I sold it in anticipation for something like this to come out. Well, not this, but these little 2-seaters, even the Pro XP 2-seater, is so much fun to drive. It's so fast, it's so nimble, they're so composed. And your seating position, to me, really seating position meant a lot in this thing. Yes, the Can-Am was really fun. It was a lot more miles per gallon, I suppose. It was just real, it was exhilarating. But as an all-around unit, this is smoother, and smooth is fast. And now I'm really, really excited. I'm really stoked to see what this new model does. Because it is wider, it's more stable, and it has a naturally aspirated engine with over 200 horsepower, which is like absurd. Over here they have a chassis that's been stripped down so you can see all of the engineering and all the components. You can see that the engine is turned sideways, so it's still belt driven, but the belts are behind your seat. Pretty interesting. Okay, there's not much for a side-by-side comparison here, but I'll show you. This here is a Pro XP. And so the big thing to check out is actually the suspension components. When this came out, everyone at the launch event that I went to was commenting on how beefy the arms are, the upper and lower control arms, how beefy the trailing arms are, and how solid the roll cage is. And so Polaris took notes from all of the feedback they were getting over all the years of building these UTVs, and this was their answer to Can-Am. And I figured we would just have this Pro XP for a long time, but now we got the Pro XP R. And oh my gosh, we are about to do a shop tour of Justin Bean's garage. This is where they make some trophy trucks and off-road race vehicles that they use on races like this. These are like multi-million-dollar operations, and the races are very, very expensive, and the vehicles are even more expensive. They're basically considering it the F1 of off-road racing, which I feel like is accurate. So let's go check it out.
I'd rather be water than something I'm not. I'd rather be water than something I'm not. I can cool things down when the going gets rough. I can cool things down when the going gets rough. I clean out a wound when you suffer a cut. I clean out a wound when you
Oh my God, I love trophy trucks. He's so cool. My little Toyota is seeming really lame right now.
Of a tire. Yeah. So at some races, if you have a bigger wheel,
the soak of this sponge and cool your temple. Soak of this sponge and cool your temple. The chill will last as long as it's able. The chill will last as long as it's able.
so here's the thing. Right.
I'd rather be dirt than controlled by a thought.
Oh yeah.
I'd rather be dirt than controlled by a thought.
I didn't grow up racing. I don't have a background in racing or really that much off-road stuff. I just sort of like had a passion for off-roading and have been involved in all different types of off-roading. One of the ones that's most appealing to me is desert racing because I like high speed, I like jumps, and so it's so cool that I get the opportunity to come to these events and pick up information and start learning about how all this works. One of the things we learned at Justin Bean's garage today was just how incredibly expensive it is. We were doing some of the math on how much it costs just to fuel these trucks for a race. It's about $20 to $30 per gallon, and they burn a gallon and a half per mile. So this is a 400-mile race, so you can kind of do the math there. It's pretty insane. The trophy truck alone is, $500,000 to $700,000, and the teams to run everything. It's insane how much money, how much it costs to do this. We just arrived at qualifying. Cool. Rob Mack in this truck has more wins than anyone in off-road racing history.
This is good.